This is Kelso Sturgeon. Class is in session at Kelso Sturgeon's College of Advanced Handicapping. Much to talk about today, but before we get into that, let's have our daily brain teaser. This is to sharpen you up and make you think, put you on edge so you'll understand what we're talking about. Now get this, think about it now. We know the speed of light, but what is the speed of darkness? Think about that for a while. Now we have a lot to talk about today. The NBA playoffs, baseball, and we're going to spend some time on betting the horses. You know, I was in horse racing for 30 years, most of it as a jockey agent, where I handled the books of riders who won more than 11,000 races. I know what it's all about. I know where the winners come from, and I want to discuss that with you a little bit today because we are usually in disagreement. You know, you swear by the Bayer figures, which are probably as phony as anything that was ever placed before the betting public. I believe in horses, and we'll talk about that in a second. You know, on Sunday, tomorrow, just keep in mind that I'm releasing a 100-unit play on the Dallas Mavericks-Miami Heat NBA game. I won with the underdog Mavericks on Thursday night. I beg your pardon. Yeah, on Thursday night, I'm sorry. The way this playoffs are spread out, I get lost here. Anyway, I won with the underdog Mavericks on Thursday night, coming back with this 100-unit play on Sunday, and I do intend to get the cash again. I'm 29-8 with my baseball selections over the past 2 weeks. If you're not betting baseball, you're truly missing something. Get these figures. Let's start with the free games first. You know, a lot of people are skeptical. They say, this can't be, the man can't pick these kind of winners. Who's he trying to kid? Well, if you've been coming on this website and taking my free games for the past 2 weeks, you are 10-3 and you never spent a penny. And I rest my case because that is how it goes for the entire season. If you're a member of my personal best club for high rollers, you have gone 8-3 over the past 2 weeks, and those betting $100 per unit are up more than $11,600. My best bet club, 10-3 over the past 2 weeks, breaking bookmakers one game and 1 day at a time. You can win with baseball. I have proven it for the entire season. And if you're not playing, shame on you. But, you know, try those free games. Get your feet wet there. As I said, 8-3 over the past 2 weeks on games that I give away free each day on this website. Just keep in mind that all these games are available, baseball, NBA, free on this website and toll free at 1-800-755-2255. All major credit cards accepted, and the price is always right. And by the way, the highlight of today's plays, a 50-unit baseball play, my 50-unit baseball game of the month, available on this website and at the toll-free number 1-800-755-2255, looking for a blowout winner, a game that has a 90% chance to get the cash. Now, you know, I was in horse racing for most of my adult life. The first experience I had at the racetrack was to win a bet to get my first son out of the hospital. I didn't have enough money to get him out. He was in Kentucky Baptist Hospital in Louisville. I went to discuss with the office there the finances of the operation, and they told me until I paid him the $190 that I owed him for his birth that I couldn't take him home. My wife couldn't take him home. Well, that didn't sit too well with me, and I was torn between kidnapping him, my own son, or finding the money to get the job done. So I went to Churchill Downs and I watched the horses. Never bet on a horse in my life. I watched the horses. I bet $20 on a horse named Cactus Tom. He won. He paid $22. I ran right to the hospital, bailed my son out, and I've been a horse player ever since. And that is a true story. You know, horse players are a strange breed. They want to get a winner, but they don't want to listen to anybody really. You know, I found this out when I was a jockey agent and I represented top riders that said they won more than 11,000 races. And you know, a guy would come up to you at the racetrack and he would say, by the way, who do you like today? I'd say, well, you know, my jockey is riding 6 horses and the horse in the 4th race, he's 6-1. I think he's the best shot we've got to win today. So you give a guy a 6-1 shot, and I can guarantee you 99 guys out of 100 say then, well, who should I put with him? Meaning, now you've given them a winner, and now they want to know which other horses they should tie him up in an exacta and a trifecta and so forth. It became so disgusting to me that I just simply walked away. I started stiffing everybody at the racetrack. Who do you like? I like them all. And it just, because I was so annoyed by the ignorance of horse players, and I respect horse players because I know many good ones. But, you know, there's that group around the racetrack that won't listen to a soul, and they're hard to overcome. You know, I've received some criticism for a column that's on this website right now saying that Richard Dutrow Jr. should be lose his trainer's license in New York and be barred from racing because he's a serial cheater, which he is. You know, there's nobody. I guarantee if you put together all the times Al Capone, Willie Sutton, and Jesse James were locked up for aberrant behavior, they would not equal the number of times that Dutrow has been penalized and suspended for drug infractions, etc. With his horses. There's no place for the Dutrows in this business. It makes it very difficult to win when you don't know what a trainer is doing with drugs. And you know, by the way, horse racing fails very much in the world of drugs. They illegal drugs primarily. You know, for some reason they just won't spend the money that it takes. And what I know, I'm certain they know. The illegal drugs used at a racetrack, the drugs that make a horse more comfortable or make him breathe better or kill his pain or whatever, all come from Europe through Canada or from the cancer research clinics in this country. I know it. Why doesn't horse racing know it? Why doesn't horse racing do something to shut it down? Anyway, we don't need the likes of the druggies, and I'm not apologizing for the column, I guess is the bottom line of what I want to say. Now, today everybody swears by the so-called Beyer figures. Now I know Andrew Beyer, greatest handicapper maybe that ever lived. If he was making the figures, I would use them because he really makes great figures, but he doesn't make the figures. A lot of has-beens and never-was that make the figures. They know as much about horse racing as my dog. And I can't go that route. I'm not a numbers man. Specifically. Yes, numbers are important, but I completely ignore the Beyers. When I handicap horses, I only want to know one thing. Who trains this horse? You know, at the racetrack, the winners keep winning and the losers keep losing. And if you focus your attention on a handful of trainers, you have probably increased your chances to win by 50 to 75% because a handful of trainers win 90% of all the races run at every racetrack in this country. Winning trainer knows what his horse is worth. He knows he needs to pay his own way. He knows to put him in a race where he has a legitimate chance to win. And, you know, and many times you'll catch 5 or 6 to 1 on these horses that actually, if you realize the smartness of the trainer and how he handles his horses, you would think this horse should be a 9 to 5, which many times I do. And you know, a trainer has a pattern in how he goes about his business. I remember years ago following Laz Barrera to California when he was based in New York. What a lot of people didn't know is that Laz gave all of his horses a race over Santa Anita before he turned them loose. This means that he wanted to know how every horse in his barn handled the track, so every first-time starter for him at Santa Anita had no chance to win. But you better pay attention the second time they run because he might win 5 out of 6 races. And that's every trainer has a pattern like this. So, you know, you can say that was a larcenous pattern. Well, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I just know he didn't try the first time. He cracked the second time with all those horses that like the racetrack. Every trainer has a pattern. You can follow it. He gets his horses ready to win in the same way. And it's just... it's a trainer's game. It doesn't belong to a buyer. It doesn't belong to the jockeys. It doesn't belong to anybody but the trainers. Keep in mind that Probably 10% of the trainers win 90% of the races. The winners keep winning, the losers keep losing, and a good trainer is going to win, period. I have handicapping selections every single day from New York and California racetracks. Get on board and win with me. And just remember, today a 50-unit baseball play, my game of the month. Tomorrow, a 100-unit play in the NBA. All my selections available on this site and toll free at 1-800-755-2255. All major credit cards accepted. The price is always right.